In the last video, we stripped the fairings and assessed the damage. This bike's been through hell, dropped, neglected, and left for dead in some forgotten garage. But today, the resurrection begins. Time to fix it up and prep the fairings for the body shop.
When the gentleman dropped the bike, I'm assuming he scraped this when dropping it. I don't actually understand how this has happened. Yeah, there's some excessive thumb rubbing right there. But I'm gonna have to take this off and repaint this. However, I have got another one of these master cylinder caps. So I'm just gonna sand this down and then I'm gonna just repaint this, stick it back on a bike. Right, these are completely stripped out, so I'm gonna have to tap these out. You're gonna use one of these, always make sure that it's pointing on the L when you're taking stuff out. Stick that in there. Grab your hammer, put it around a screw, give it a tap. There we go. It's easy as that. That is so much better than using an impact because you're gonna strip it even more. This thing has saved me so many times. So I've never worked on a Kawasaki before, but I'm guessing this is quite bad too. I might have to change this, but I'm guessing this should just split apart if I take this off. Okay, so I'm hoping that if I take these out, then it'll just come apart quite easily. There we go. There. One bracket removed. Before I commit to buying a new one of these, I'm going to try and sand this down and then smooth off the surface. It's actually not too deep. It seems like there's only superficial scuff marks here, so I think if I do like a 240 grit sandpaper and then kind of follow the path line of the curvature of this part, I'll be able to sort of smooth it out and then paint it, and you won't even know the difference.
Always try to fix a part before replacing it. Keeps the cost down and lets me learn something new along the way.
All right, much better. Still need to sand the rest of it down, ready for paint, but to be fair, all of the scratches are gone, so I guess I don't need to buy a new one.
Here, I'm using a Dremel with wire brush to strip the paint from the hard to reach spots.
Right, got them all sanded. Now a little bit of primer and some paint. Okay, next job is the front set. This is the one that came in as spare. I'm not going to use any of this stuff, but I will use this since it's already off the bike, and I'm going to just try and see if I can restore it, sand it back down. First, I'm going to have to take everything off this and then have a look to see how this is, how well this polishes out. So let's take this apart. Okay, there's really two things I can do. I've got a Scotch pad here. I'm just gonna try remove some of this corrosion and just sand this out and then polish it and give it like a brushed look. Because it's aluminium, as long as you look after it, it should be okay, I think. Whether it's gonna last, I don't know, we'll see. I've got my metal polish. Just a little bit of that on there. Spread it around. So I've got my drill with the little pad on the end, and hopefully that should give me a nice result. That's not too bad. That looks pretty good. And what I'm thinking is, if I got one of these pads and then just do like sort of brush it one direction. This is the old one. This is the one that's still on the bike, and this is the new one. So I've spent some time polishing it, and I think I got it looking pretty good. I'm still deciding whether to go for it or not, or whether to powder coat. I mean, I think it's gonna be okay. Let's just see. I mean, it's a lot cleaner than the other one, and it's a massive, massive improvement.
You might be wondering about those visible scratches. Well, this is just a test piece for now. If I decide to go with it, I'll spend more time polishing and perfecting the finish.
This, I've got some new brake lever to go on. This is bent because I think when the bike's been dropped on this side, obviously that's bent. And this side is pretty good. So I think I'm just going to polish this back out, and then that should be good to go. So let's grab some tools, and I think that's a flathead and a size 8, I would imagine. Alright, so I've got my new one here. Lovely. Just a little bit there. You can see the old one, how much more bent that is. So it's like a banana. Right, perfect. One done. Right, next is the plastic welder has just arrived, and I have taken it out already to see what it looks like. So this is it. It's basically a soldering iron with 2 prongs attached to the end of it, and this should fix the fairing. I've spoken to a few body shops already, and they suggested that this could be a good idea. Never used it before, could be a disaster. Let's try it out. I've got this plastic thing here, which I bashed with a hammer just a second ago. And I wanted to see, just to practice this before I absolutely demolish the very expensive fairings. So what I'm gonna do is just do like a little practice run. This crack is obviously quite superficial. Once it closes up, you can barely see it, which is very similar to the one on the fairing. So I've got loads of different little prongs that go into it, and I think the ones that they say for like superficial crack, one for straight cracks, large curved cracks, so I think this is the one that we're gonna find. Now we just load this into here and try not to burn my fingers off. Let's give it a go. Oh, that's gone straight through it. So we definitely don't want to do that to the fairing. Attempt number 2.
This definitely took some getting used to. I found that holding the welder on the part until the metal cooled off helped maintain better adhesion and prevented weak spots in the weld. The cooling phase allows the metal to settle properly, reducing internal stress and minimizing cracking.
Okay, after a few tries, that's pretty solid. Let's try it on the very expensive fairing. If you're a body repairer and you're watching this, now's a good time to look away, because I might absolutely destroy this fairing. But this should work. Let's see.
I was definitely taking my time with this one, making sure not to burn through the fairing. No second chances on this one.
It seems to be pretty good. It's actually really solid. I'm really surprised how well it worked. There's one of them that actually came through. No big deal. I can sand this out, and hopefully that'll be okay. Rest of it is just going to need sanding and then maybe filling on this end. And then I also need to just trim all these off. However, I have found another problem with this fairing, which is right here. And this is where the indicator was, and this actually snapped. So I'm going to have to try and plastic weld this as well. But not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, because it's such an awkward position. So I'll just give it a go. Okay, this side, really good. Apart from that little problem. You can barely see anything come through. which is really nice. And then down here is where the repair is. Okay, so I've spent some time sanding. This is looking pretty good. Just needs a little bit of filler, I assume, don't know. I'll let the body shop decide that. Everything is super strong actually. It's not moving at all, which I'm really happy with. Now remember, when you're watching this, I'm never gonna claim that I'm professional or I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I do, but not a lot. A lot of the times I'm kind of just winging it, and it's not the proper way to do it. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't really know any other way to do it. I could have fiberglassed it. I didn't want to build up so much material on the original fairing. So this is the way that a body shop recommended. I tried it, it seems to still work. We'll see how it comes out when it comes out of paint. So, but I think this is where we're gonna end the video. Let me know what you think about the bike down in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.